I'm Tomas Bayer, I'm COO of Eki Blockchain, and actually I'm not very technical. I'm responsible for operations and the business development. And yeah, in case you would like to speak about auditing or security, just feel free to reach me out on the QR code. It brings you directly on my Twitter account. In a shortcut about Eki Blockchain, obviously we are smart contract auditors. We are quite small. We are 15 people in total, based in Prague, Czech Republic. And we have two teams, one for Solana, one dedicated to Ethereum. And apart of auditing, we are also developing our own tooling. For Ethereum, it's called Vogue. And it's actually Python-based testing and development framework for Solidity. We're also doing some education. We have our founder and auditors teaching blockchain on Czech Technical University in Prague. And we also do online courses, Summer School of Solana and Winter School of Solidity. We already onboarded like more than 1,000 developers into Web3. Yeah, some of our clients, companies like 1inch, Layer 0, or Axelar. Most of the companies you can see are our regular clients because the best results from auditing you get from the long-term cooperation. We also got the grants from Solana Foundation and Ethereum Foundation, and from Coinbase. Today I will speak about the selection of auditor, what question asks, and yeah, how to get the best fit for your project, about the best practices, and I mean best practices before and during the audit, and what are the next steps after the audit. So when selecting the auditor, you should consider technical level of the team, hacked clients, issue discovery efficiency, reference, and past audit reports. If I speak about the technical level of the team, actually you can get the impression not only from the auditor but during the initial calls, good team should ask you technical questions about your project in order to understand in the best way what you are building. Sometimes, mainly when BDs are reaching us out, yeah, in a certain moment they say, okay guys, you speak only about the security and the call is getting too technical, but company this and that offered us that if we do the audit with them, they will offer us their KYC for free. And what are actually your selling points? Yeah, I mean, this is, in my opinion, a huge red flag, and you should always focus on technical expertise of the team. Security first, not the marketing. So about hacked clients and issue discovery efficiency. You should always ask for some figures and numbers so you can see if the team is not only picking the low-hanging fruits and if they are really trying to break things. I prepared a small table. In the first column you can see auditors. In the second column is the average amount of engineering days needed to discover an issue. And in the third column, in the fourth column, you can see the amount of engineering days in average needed to discover a high severity or critical issue. So it means when you take a look at the bottom line, it says that it takes us 1 day to discover issue, and we discover high or critical issue every 5th day. Yeah, and that's the good one. Actually, here are spreaded all the issues, informational, low, medium, high, and critical. And you can see that the amount of low severity issues almost equals to high and critical issues, which means that the team is actually really doing the manual code review and yeah, they're locally deploying the contracts and trying specific hacks and attacks, and that's the way how you discover most critical issues. reference. It's always nice to have some top-tier protocols between the references, but you should always check for the relevant references for your project. So, for example, if the auditor already audited, let's say, a project that is similar to yours, or if you are building on a certain protocol, it's pretty handy to have somebody who already audited the protocol itself. Past audit reports, they sell a lot. Actually, reputable companies have available many public reports from the past, and I would recommend not to check just discovered issues, but also executive summaries and the audit methodology, because it tells you a lot about the approach to auditing from the team. What's the best case scenario for you is when you are able to find certain audit report which is focused on the scope that was audited by multiple auditing companies, so you can compare them between each other. And it's really one of the best ways to benchmark auditing companies. Best practices. I will speak about code freeze, tooling, test coverage, documentation, scope, dev support, security mix, and pre-audit checklist. Yeah, the code base should be almost production ready and ready at specific commit. You should never make any changes in the audited code base, because then it requires additional time for auditors and necessary additional costs for the project. About the tooling and the test coverage, yeah, your test coverage should be at least 95%, and extensive test suite is really helpful, because tests can discover bugs, and more bugs means more overhead in the report. So you should try to save auditors time in order to get the confident audit output. You can use Solidity Defense, you can use Foundry, or you can use Vogue, which is Python-based. Further, I will also mention that actually every audit starts with a static analysis. So if you perform it before the audit, it can save your time. You can use Slitter or Vogue. Vogue normally gives you less false positives. About the documentation, I know that you probably know, but you would be surprised that it's not so automatic, so I will say that. And the code should be continuously documented during the development process. And there are certain things that you should deliver to auditors before audit begins, which are architecture graphs, project flows, and functional requirements, and white paper. And auditors always ask me also to get from the client a video walkthrough through the code base. So this is in the best case from your side. About the scope, you should always clearly specify all the contracts that should be audited and these that should be taken as a black box. And I will also add that you should be careful with cutting the scope, because yeah, we hear quite often that project comes and say, we fork this, we fork that, and we want you only to audit this tiny little part in between. So, of course, at the end of the day, it's the client who decides what should be audited. But yeah, if your project is depending on the code base that was changed after the last audit, then it's pretty risky, so be careful with that. Yeah, you should always have the team available during the audit, because normally we keep low, medium, or informational issues for the end, and we report them in the audit report. But critical issues we report right away. And not so long time ago, actually, we have audited a project that was already launched and didn't make audit before. Yeah, the team was based in the US, and actually we woke up the team during the night when we found a critical issue in the protocol. So you can imagine it was a tough morning. Yeah, there's always recommended to have more than one third-party audit. Part of that, your security mix should also include the tests, internal audit, because the best auditors are usually internal devs, because they are the ones who get the most issues, and the bug bounty program. Yeah, I prepared a short checklist so you can think about your project, whether it's ready to be audited or not. So your project is ready to be audited, if it's ready to be frozen for the auditing period, if it's compilable, is accessible for the auditors from day one, contains full NetSpec documentation, has a comprehensive technical documentation, has a walkthrough video for auditors, follows solidity style guide, contains an extensive text suite, passed static analysis, and has a past audit reports if there are any. So what are the next steps after the audit? In our case, it's readout session, then comes re-audit or fix review, and then it's marketing. You see marketing comes last, not first. Yeah, at the end of the audit, once everything is finished, we schedule a readout call between auditors and development team. We always explain every finding and issues found to the team and make sure that they fully understand. And we also suggest the ways how to fix the issues. Then the re-audit and fix review. Actually, before you make a handshake with the project, with auditor, you should ask what's included in the budget of the audit. In our case, fix review is included, of course, but when you make significant changes to the code base or you change the contract logic, then the re-audit is needed. So fixed review really includes only the fixes of the discovered issues in the report. Then you should consider publishing the report because, of course, you do that for yourself in the first place, but it's a service also for your users, and I guess you want to be as transparent as possible. Then we always help the clients with the marketing of the report because we're proud of our work. And normally we write Medium articles or schedule Twitter spaces where we discuss how was overall the audit, how was the experience, what issues were found. And yeah, we somehow publicly celebrate the security assessment that happened. We always enjoy it. Closing thoughts. Yeah, I have one actually, and which is that once there are user funds involved in the project, security should become priority number one for you. And yeah, there are real people behind the avatars, and blockchain never forgets. So the reputation you have is only one. So act accordingly. Thank you very much. Are there any questions?